Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be an extreme declutter and organize of my kitchen. This is going to be awesome motivation. I've got lots of ideas for you guys and some really cool products that I found on Amazon for really cheap to help you organize your kitchen if you need to do so. It's the beginning of a new year, and when that new year comes around, I'm always excited and motivated to get my house back in order. So I'm bringing you guys along for that journey, and we are gonna knock this out. It really wasn't that bad, and I highly encourage you to, do this in your own home, even if it's not in your kitchen, maybe it's your bathroom. You can definitely just tackle one room at a time. So the first thing that I got on Amazon was this set of Lazy Susans, and I'm going to show you how I use them here in a second, but they were really inexpensive. And then I also got some like acrylic, or I think that's what they are called, like those clear containers. I didn't end up using all of them. I'm going to put those in my fridge, I think, but I will link everything that I got that I used in this video. I will link it for you guys in the description box. So definitely check there. So first I wanted to go through my spice cabinet. As you can see, it's a total disaster. I could hardly find anything. And honestly, when we would open this cabinet door, stuff would fall out on us constantly. It was getting ridiculous. So that's where I wanted to start, because actually this was the one I was the most excited about. I was really excited about using those Lazy Susans for some reason. I just had it pictured in my head how awesome it was going to be when it was done. And I was right, because I absolutely love how it turned out, and I can't wait to show you. But before I show you, and before we get started in that decluttering process, I wanted to introduce to you my friend Jessi.
Hi, my name is Jessi. I am a married stay-at-home mom of 3 kids. I have a little pug named Sammy. I have a bunch of little kitty cats running around. My house is pretty much a zoo all the time. I do a lot of cleaning motivation. I do real life show the dirt, like down on my knees, scrubbing things, cleaning motivation. I'm always trying to get my life together because I am constantly reorganizing and decluttering and just trying to make my life run more efficiently. So if you love that sort of thing, definitely check out my channel. And I would love it if you would say hi in the comments to let me know you stopped by.
Okay, so now we're gonna declutter all of that stuff. I'm just going through and throwing away some stuff and kind of like organizing. This is a bunch of duck sauce that we have left from Chinese food that we never use. I don't know why we keep it, but it's gone in the trash now. But back to Jessi. So Jessi and I met when we did a giveaway over on Instagram, and I realized that she has a son about the same age as Hank. He is a little bit younger. I think he was born in July. He's super, super cute, as you saw some of him in that video. But I started following her on Instagram after we did that giveaway together, and I just started to realize that we had a lot in common. And then I started to watch some of her videos, and I realized that I really enjoyed them. I think she gets great angles, and she just cleans like I do, and she shows like the real life messes and stuff. And I found that I felt like she was very relatable to me. She felt like somebody that if I met in real life, we would definitely be friends. And so I asked her if she would want to collab with me today, and I think that you guys are going to love her channel because I love it. And like I said, she's very similar to me in a lot of ways in the way that we clean and stuff. She also has 2 older children and a baby like me, which I think is so funny. And also we were talking because she said that they were thinking about naming their son Malcolm. They were thinking about naming him Henry. So we just keep finding more and more things that we have in common. And I know you guys will love Jessi. So when you are done watching my video, definitely go over and show her some love and leave her a comment and let her know where you came from. And if you are coming over from Jessi's channel, welcome to my channel. I hope that you enjoy my content, and I would love to have you subscribe and stick around and get to know me a little bit. Okay, so just like I thought, these turned out exactly the way I had envisioned in my mind. I also got this one on Amazon. Like I said, I'll link all of them for you. I think this one is technically like for a refrigerator, but I just use things where they work for me. And I made sure before I bought them that they were going to fit in my cabinets. And one of the things that I recommend is always just looking in the review pictures and seeing like, do these fit in other people's cabinets, and kind of reading over the reviews to see like the pros and cons, because sometimes that definitely determines whether or not I buy something or not, because maybe somebody's review is like, oh, this or that. And then I'm like, okay, that's definitely not going to work for me. And then I just had those clear bins from a long time ago, long time ago. I can't even remember where I got them, but I decided that those would work the best for all of my like gravy mixes and chili mixes and things like that. They didn't end up all fitting in the clear one like I had hoped. It was a little bit prettier, but it just didn't function. And to me, I need things to function. So you might see on some channels some really awesome, beautiful organization, but here I like it to look pretty, of course, but I need it to function. So it's going to be all about how things function and work for our family and just make things easier. So here is the overall finished spice cabinet. I love how it turned out, and I can just reach up and grab one of those clear containers and bring it down to the counter when I need to look through it and find a particular mix that I need. But I can turn this around and find all of my spices. It's amazing. I cannot stand that I let things go like that through the year, but I do every single year. My spice cabinet just gets a mess. It'll be like this again this time next year, but that's good for you because I always have that good content coming for you guys. Okay, the next cabinet I wanted to do was this kind of catch-all cabinet. It just has a bunch of random stuff. And then I have this really awesome corner cabinet that I just can't figure out how I actually want to use it. So I was using it for tumblers, and we have way too many tumblers, you guys. But I've went through them a few times, and these are ones that I want to keep. They're good. So it is what it is, you guys. So I'm just taking absolutely everything out of both of these cabinets so I can get a look at everything I have, kind of go through it, decide what needs to go, and maybe something needs to go in a completely different cabinet. And then I cleaned them all out really good and then kind of put everything back in. I literally laid in bed at night for several nights in a row thinking about my cabinets and my drawers and how I wanted things to be and where I wanted things to go. So I kind of had a little bit of a plan ahead of time, and that did help a little bit. So if you are going to do a big organization project like this in your home, maybe write it down in a notebook, or just sit in your kitchen and just kind of look at your cabinets and think, okay, this would look good in here and this would work well in here, because that's what I did this time. Normally I kind of just wing it, and this time it went so much smoother. Like I do. Are you worried about me too? 'Cause I'm thinking aloud, I'm wondering about. So while I was doing this, I was also listening to a podcast on Spotify. I can't remember the name of the podcast. I think it was related to Crime Junkies. That's normally what I listen to. But it was like a story about people being catfished. It was kind of funny, but it was also kind of not funny. But that's what I was doing to kind of help me get through this. So I highly recommend listening to like some good music or a podcast or like an audiobook while you're doing something like this, because it just kept my mind busy, and it just went so fast, and I actually enjoyed myself while I was doing it, if that makes sense. And I have Spotify. I think it's like $10 a month, and they have all kinds of podcasts on there that come with it for free. So I'm always listening to Crime Junkie when I'm getting ready and doing my makeup. I listen to that. And right now I'm actually listening to I think it's called Supernatural by Ashley Flowers, who does the Crime Junkie podcast, and she talks about these like ghost stories and tries to decipher like what could it have possibly been if it wasn't a ghost. And I just love the way that it is. It's like it's not like she's like straight up, oh, definitely there's ghost, because I'm somebody that's on the fence about ghosts, to be honest. I've never really had a real true experience, but I have people that I know and I love that have, and I trust them, if that makes sense. So I'm just on the fence about it. So I really enjoy listening to stories about them, but I like to listen to stories about them that are from people that are very open-minded and realize that it could be something that you can explain away instead of just automatically going to, oh, it was a ghost. Do you know what I'm saying? So I got this little lid organizer on Amazon as well, and I love it because we all know Tupperware is like the nightmare of organizing. It's always all over the place. You can hardly ever find a match for you can hardly ever find like a lid to match. So I love this little thing for organizing the lids, and you can adjust like how far you want the spacers and stuff, and it worked out perfectly. So I am really excited with how this cabinet turned out. By the way, if anybody has a ghost story they want to tell in the comments, last week we talked about my like scary story that happened to me when I was a little girl. If you want to hear it, definitely go back to last week's video and listen to that. And then I asked you guys to share your stories, and you guys shared some seriously scary stories. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I had goosebumps up and down my entire body reading some of these comments that you all left. So this week I thought it would be tons of fun to tell me your ghost story. So please, 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 if you have one, write it out in the comments. I want to read it, and I'm sure other people will enjoy it as well. And then I was just showing you, I'm just using that corner cabinet right now for baby stuff. Hanky is going to be a year old in just a couple of weeks. I'm so sad. So here really soon, I won't need all of that stuff. He won't need the formula and the baby food and stuff. So it'll be empty again. But I'm also showing that this is the corner cabinet on the bottom, and this is where I just keep like my bigger appliances like my crock pot and stuff like that. And now I'm going into my junk drawers. So you guys, I think I had a total of 4 junk drawers, which is absolutely ridiculous. But in my defense, one of them was more of like a tools drawer where we have like nails and measuring tapes and hammers and all of that stuff, because you need those things in the house. Like constantly I'm using that stuff. So I like to have a drawer that has all of that stuff, but as you can see, mine is completely out of control. So the way that I tackled these were honestly, I was not looking forward to these. I was very overwhelmed. So the way that I decided to go about them was just go ahead and take everything out of all of them, clean them out really good. And then my biggest tip for this, if you are not good at organizing or you feel overwhelmed by it, the way that I do it is I take everything out and then I start with trash. Okay, I'm going to go through everything and throw everything away that's trash. And then I'm going to pick a category. So for example, I picked batteries as my first category. So I gathered up all the batteries from the piles and then I organized the batteries. And then I went to command hooks and I did all of the command hooks, and then I went to something else and then something else, and it actually went a lot better than I thought it was going to. But as you can see, 4 total junk drawers, absolutely ridiculous, you guys. So I got it down to 2 junk drawers, and I'm really excited to show you how they turned out. I guess I'm gonna stay, but I'm just gonna wait in the background, watching you talk to her. I know this might look bad, but I'm just gonna melt in the background, watching you lean into her. I'm a fool, I just wanna get close to you. Yeah, I wanna get close. I'm a fool, I know. Are you thinking about us? I had these white drawer organizers from the Dollar Tree. You can go to the Dollar Tree and get so much great stuff for obviously, well, actually, I was going to say obviously $1, but it's not $1 anymore. It's $1.25 now. Have you heard? So it's still really cheap though. So if you are going to do an organizing project, I recommend going to the Dollar Tree first because they have great bins, and then also Walmart and Dollar General or like Family Dollar, they have great organizing stuff as well. But then Amazon will be like my third place that I will go to. But I found these battery organizers on Amazon, and I'll have them linked. And this one I waited a long time. I don't know why. This one took forever to get here. It actually was delivered while I was filming, so it was perfect timing. And I do really like this one. So I just had to pop out the little styrofoam things here, and then it's just for AA and AAA, but I got 3 because I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to do it, and we have a lot of batteries. But it worked out really good. I love how it turned out, and I love how we can see all of the batteries that we have. I actually just bought 2 huge packs of batteries from Sam's Club because you can get like a massive pack of AAA and a massive pack of AA. And I'm kind of new to Sam's Club. In the last year, I got a membership and like I'm obsessed. But I picked up all of those batteries and then I was like, oh no, I don't know how I'm going to store all these batteries. But now I have them all stored and organized perfectly, and I'm like so excited about it. So if you need to organize your batteries, I highly recommend looking on Amazon for these little battery organizers. They had all kinds of different types of them. They even had some that came with like a tester to see if the batteries were still good. So that's kind of cool, but I just wanted something super simple.
Sometimes when I'm thinking about us, before we got lost and we parted, back to back we would carry on and we'd do anything for what we started. But this time we could break. I'm running dry, everything's the same. We'll try tonight, but this time we're not safe and sound. Not safe and sound.
So here in my top drawer, I have all of my batteries, and then I just have a thing of all of our random keys. Honestly, we probably have no idea where any of these keys belong, but it's just one of those things that you feel weird throwing away. So we're keeping them. And then in the next drawer, I was laying out all of my little organizing things, kind of seeing what would fit and like how I could get the most in there before I started putting stuff in there. Ultimately, I went with this arrangement here, and then I just brought them over to the counter and I started with my next category, which was the command hooks. I love command hooks. I use them all over my house for so many different things. I use them to decorate with. I use them to like hang up cords and stuff like that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else really cool. I actually have a couple in my shower that I use to hang towels. I have some in my closet. Command hooks are like the best invention ever. If you have any really cool command hook hacks that you want to share in the comments, I would love to know, because I obviously have a ton of them and I just love using them. I actually have some of the picture hanging ones as well, because in the basement we have paneling and it's really hard to nail into that and hang anything. So I have some of the picture hanging ones that are just like Velcro that I use to hang pictures in the basement. So I love them, use them everywhere in my house. Okay, so in this drawer, this is honestly just a true junk drawer. I've got some tape, some walkie-talkies. I've got my command hooks, tacks, safety pins, extra plugs, rubber bands, all of the random stuff that you just need in a house. So I love it. I've got those 2 drawers. It's great. And I actually did end up putting my hammer and measuring tape in one of those as well, because that's something that I use all the time. I didn't get that on camera, but that is definitely something that I put in there. And then I have all of these drawers in my island and I just wasn't utilizing them right. I felt like they were just really kind of more junk drawers, but with kitchen junk. And I just didn't feel like it was serving my family right, if that makes sense, because I feel like I could just use them in a better way. Here's my hanky. He was going down for a nap, so he was giving me hugs and kisses before he went down. But I wanted to use them in a way that would just make my kitchen flow better and just would work better for my family. So again, I just took everything out of these drawers, kind of went through what I didn't need, and then repurposed the drawers. And I'll show you how I did that. I'm really excited about it.
There's another side of you trying to break through, able to tell the truth. No one else can see you like I do. All you ever do is say how far you wanna go.
Okay, so here's an overview of that's all of the stuff that came out of the drawers. Can you believe that?
Designed to let me know. You know you're already accepted. To me, you're always picture perfect. You think you're gonna be rejected. Just say you're in love, 'cause
So the little drawer that I had showed you that I had all of my spatulas in was just not doing a good job for me. I could not get the drawer open half the time. I have a lot of spatulas, and that's something I kind of wanted to talk about when I was editing this. I was like, you know what? I have a lot of spatulas and kitchen things, but I use all of them, and I am just not a minimalist. I could never be one. And I think that was like a trend that went through social media a couple of years back. Like when I first started YouTube, minimalism was like the thing, and the Marie Kondo stuff where you were getting rid of stuff. I remember I watched an episode of that, and she was telling her like she only needed 1 or 2 spatulas. And I kind of went through that, and I like got rid of a bunch of stuff, and it was okay. It was healthy for me because I really did have too much. But I kind of got stuck in that mentality of thinking that I needed to be a minimalist too. And I don't need to be that. I need to be what's best for me and my family. And I like to have all of those things. I use them and they make my life easier. So yes, I have a lot of spatulas, but it's okay because I use them. So I moved them over to that big drawer there where I can see them all. And it just works so much better. And then I have those 2 drawers there that I have one for Kensley for her plates and cups so she can get to them because they were up high and she could never get her plates or bowls down for snacks. And then I have one for Hanky because right now I don't have to worry about him getting his own cups and stuff, but before we know it, I will. So they'll both have their little drawers where they can go get their own little cup and their own little bowl for snacks. Now we're moving on to underneath of my kitchen sink. It really wasn't that bad under here, but I wanted to take the shelf that I had bought from Amazon last year for a different organizing project that it didn't end up working out and put it under here. Oh, I wanted to show you guys. I saw these on somebody else's Instagram and I had to have them. They are they're kind of like command strip type where they stick and you actually just stick your rags in them. So I will take a cleaning rag in the morning and I will use that cleaning rag unless it gets really dirty and like I'm cleaning a really dirty mess or something. I will use that throughout the day before I call it retiring them, and I have a rag bin that I put them in. So I love those because I just stick the rag in there and that way it's off of my counter, but it's still super easy to grab and wipe down the counter. So I will have those linked as well. And then anyways, back to this drawer. I had bought this for a different project. It didn't end up working there and I thought it would work great here, and it does. I love how I can just organize all my little kitchen things that I need and they're in these drawers. I can pull it out and see everything. It's not in a bin shoved in the back of the cabinet.
I'm trying to walk across the bridges that I've burned. My only way to you is gone, the tide has turned. So give me a light, show me what I need.
And then I have this life vac that we just recently purchased, which is one of those things that if you have even an adult or a child choking, that it basically creates this powerful suction and sucks whatever's stuck in their throat out. My husband really wanted to get one, and so we went ahead and ordered it. I got mine from Amazon. You can get them on LifeVac's website as well. They run around $70 to $80. I think if you buy it from LifeVac's actual website, that there's a lifetime replacement. So if you do ever have to use one of the masks, they will replace the mask for you for free, which is really cool, but hopefully you don't ever have to use it. Just like an astronaut. Kind of crazy. I have two crazy choking stories actually that I will share with you really quickly. One of them, we were at Cracker Barrel eating as a family, and I witnessed there was an elderly couple eating, a man and a woman, and he choked on his food and he ultimately passed away, and it was very horrible and awful to watch, extremely sad. And I do feel personally very passionate that I feel like all restaurants, is what I meant to say, should be required by law to carry a life vac so that if anyone chokes, they have that there. I really hope that that's something that can be in the future, because I think it's a very inexpensive thing and it could save so many lives. And then the other story that I have is actually with Kinsley. She choked on a piece of broccoli. It was horrific. She turned blue. And it took me more time than I would like. When you think of this, when things like that happen, it seems like it takes so much longer than it probably really did in reality, but it seemed like forever, but it really was a long time. It actually did take me a long time, but she finally got it out. She was blue. She was starting to not respond anymore, and I finally got the chunk of broccoli out. It was absolutely terrifying. So I'm so glad that they have this now, and I'm so glad that we have it. So I just keep it right under the kitchen sink, and everyone in the family knows where it's at. I also want to get one for the car though, because I think that's important, like when you're out and about. And since restaurants don't carry them, I could always run in the car and grab ours if anybody needed it, even a stranger.
I'm laying down it to compile it. Oh no, I see you only when you're ballin'. Oh no, I don't even care to doubt. I'll see you in a while, cause this time I will choose you, yeah. I'll choose. You know exactly how to look like this. Holding in a bag full of goods and needs. I need a night like this. Knowing it's a risk, cause you're using it. You got all your secrets. I can seem to move this thing. You're pulling me out and I'm right back on the sideline where you want it.
Okay, so I went back to these drawers. I couldn't remember if I had showed you them completed. So that's Hanky's little drawer with his little things, and then this is Kinsley's, so she can easily just go get her a cup, a bowl, or plate, or whatever. I had her cups down, but I didn't have her plates, and I just am so excited that I have them down now, and she really likes it too. And then in the top drawer, I just have like my aluminum foil, my parchment paper, things like that. And then on the right side, I have my drying mats and my heat pad things, and then I've got my drawer for rags. And then in the bottom, I keep like my cheese shredder and my funnel. I actually use that funnel for sweet tea, in case you were curious. And then I think I have like an apple slicer in there. So those are just like kitchen things that, you use. And I didn't want to put those in the big cabinet, so they work perfectly there. And then in my drawers, I'm just showing you, this middle one has mixing bowls and strainers. And then the bottom one is where I keep my pots and pans.
Pulling me out and I'm right back in. I'm on the sideline where you wanna be.
Okay, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. If you're watching on a TV, if you would take the time to go to your phone or your tablet or whatever you use and leave me a comment and a thumbs up later today when you get a chance, I would really, really appreciate it. The engagement truly helps. If you're new here, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. It's totally free. And it's just a way to support me and so that I can keep making content for you guys. And again, if you're coming from Jessi's channel, welcome to my channel, and I will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, you can follow me over on Instagram. Bye, guys.
I'm on the sideline where you wanted me. I'm by the byway waiting for your lead. I don't wanna fall in love.